warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Dian Anggraini from Literature TBAB. Okay, today I will present my some mini research. It's about a learning problem, one of a learning problem. So the agenda today is about a learning problem in the study, managing class, and solution. Okay, e-learning. E-learning is a teaching method that incorporates any type of technology, and it refers to an educational setting in which teaching and learning take place in an internet-based environment. Yes, because now we live in a technology era, and everyone use technology. Furthermore, e-learning makes the learning process interactive and collaborative by connecting each learning with especially who are physically separate from them, provides time and location flexibility, and is time and the cost effective for students. Yes, e-learning is very benefit for the education. Why? Because the student can find the material easily. The student can find a new friend to get some informations, and for the teacher, yes, we can collab with some technology, some applications. We can make a new strategy to a learning process. And also, e-learning not spend our time and money so much because, example, if we walk to school for 15 minutes just for walk to come to school, but 50 minutes in e-learning we can do anything like read some informations, like read some article. It's really benefit for us to get 15 minutes. We can do 15 minutes with some benefits for the student. E-learning is a term that refers to the process of learning. Before a teacher begin your lesson, make sure you have prepared a lesson plan. Yeah, lesson plan not only for a face-to-face class but also for e-learning too. We're dividing the time for each assignment and game. Keep in mind your pupil's age. Younger students have the stored attention span than university students. Therefore, you have to include more breaks and tricks to keep the younger children focused. Yes, because in learning and face-to-face some have some problem. This is some method what we want to do, what we want use the method in learning process. It's a very different with younger learners and student university. And also, the teacher create well-structured lesson to help the teacher with the time management, while management and learning with student junior high school different with senior high school. Next, what the focus in this study? The problem in this study is what students do while studying online. The focus is for student attitude during studying online. Some problem is like students feel boring, students go to class, and so on. Especially the problem for literature class. The student should read more paper or more one page as very feel boring. So what the strategy best? So the big problem in this study is student feel boring. So what is solution? The solution is a classroom management. As this is because while the teacher have some good management, the teacher can make the atmosphere in the class feel better. So this is manage your class. The strategy to manage the class. In this activity, the teacher will explain the learning objective appropriately, the motivation of student, and explain the benefits that will be obtained by the student. implementations is the core activity of every meeting, therefore the teacher must prepare and master the material. The management of good learning implementations can actually be reflected in the formulation of objectives and the selection of materials or the topics during pre-construction activity. So it's a very benefit for teaching and learning process. So as a teacher, we should prepare first during pre-construction activity. And next, here are some experts several from Regul 1999. The several things that teacher must pay attention to during core activity. First is dividing the material into several subjects or topics. Then, giving brief explanation of the relationship between the following topic needs to master first. So, also we must give some explanations what we want to teach, what the topic, what the student learn. Next is explaining the matter with discussions that easily understood by the student, accompanied by example. Yeah, it's really related with learning. Why? Because in learning, we as a teacher know to see our student. So we don't know what the student do while teaching, while e-learning. So we can make the class interactive, make all of the students active in the class with some discussions technique. In discussions, we can make all of the students active with a brainstorming or give some example, and they can guess what we want to learn today. And next is the write down keywords. It's really benefit for the student because the student can see clearly the structure of the material presented. And next, after the topic is finished, it can be continued by holding a short evaluations to determine the absorption of student. Then it can be continued with the next topic. So don't forget to take some evaluations while teaching. And next is distinguishing between the main and additional things. The students are told the main part of the matter, which is an important part, while the others are only complementary. So don't forget to remember our student what the important they learned today. And next is provide response to the question posed by the student. Don't forget to give some fast response while learning, because if we as a teacher don't give a fast response for them, they can feel boring. Why? They think the teacher not see them, and they think they're not really important at the class, so they can do anything while teaching learning. And next is the solutions of this problem. So based on theory, Regate 1989, to manage our class really important, we as a teacher can make student attitude to the learning better with the communications with student or interactive class. With this, we can build our teaching learning better, especially in literature. Literature is very boring for young learners because young learners are not same with student college. So we can make some strategy, what the solutions. Like some experts say before, we should make some technique with give example first and make them guess what the topic with reading some text. To build student curiosity about what they will learn, students will be curious and follow the learning process well. Besides that, the teacher must also pay attention to methods that are not boring. E-learning or virtual classroom have their own problems. Yes, have different problems also. Namely about student attitude during e-learning. One of which is the lack of student motivation. If student lack motivation later, the class atmosphere will be boring. So, what is some topics that I said before? Firstly, divide the material into several subject or topics. Explaining the matter with a discussion. Write down keywords after the topic finishes, distinguishing between the main and additional things, and the last, providing response to question posed by the student. So maybe that's all for my explanations about my mini research. Sorry for my mistake. I hope you understand what I see. Thank you very much for listening my explanations. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.